Good afternoon, everyone. It's the one, the only, the Senor Silverback on another edition of Trading Terrordome with none other than the infamous algo-capitalist Dex. And we are coming to you live. Dex, what's up, buddy?
What's up? What's up? Making it do
Man,
what it do.
yo, I just want to wish you a happy Valentine's Day. I was telling you off air, and I just want the world to know Dex, the algo-capitalist, is the gorilla's favorite Valentine.
Oh,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh man, what's going on, man? I think I sent you a link to an article. I don't know if you saw it or not, but
yes, I did.
yeah, what you dude, it was like the algos rule the world or something like that, right?
Yeah, it was. It was basically breaking down and showing the truth behind the situation with what's going on with these algos. And like I've been telling people all along that algorithms rule the world.
Yep.
And now they came up with the article that you're referring to, and it was breaking down how it started out, on Wall Street with them getting rid of their trading floors or
Yeah.
whittling it down to just a handful of people. I can relate to that. I think I discussed that a while back, breaking down how trading has been taken over now by algorithms. It's all robotic, but now they want to spill that over into Main Street. So everything starts on Wall Street, and then it goes to Main Street. So now there was another article that I saw, and I think this was on the was it Daily News or something. Anyhow, they were breaking down the fact that they're going to start rolling these machines out into other sectors,
Hmm.
and so they were talking about a lot of the white collar middle class jobs being
Yeah.
replaced by automation as well.
Wow.
And they were, going sector by sector and breaking it down. And they were saying that this is going to eliminate like 90% across the board of employment.
Dude, what kind of sectors do you think is in trouble with this rise of the machines? Like Skynet's going active over here, bro.
Well, I can tell you it's already starting. It's not something that they're talking about, 20 years from now. They're already rolling this out. And so on the retail side, all of your cashiers are in trouble. They're in trouble.
Yeah.
Anything that has to do with finance, those people are in trouble
Yeah.
because now they have algorithms now to do mortgages.
Mm.
So you don't have to use a human being for that either. A machine is going to do that. A machine is going to automate just about every processes you can think of. So you won't need people to do a lot of these jobs. And I'm talking about white collar type jobs.
Yeah.
The only thing that's safe is like if you're a doctor or a dentist, a lawyer or something like that, that's safe. But other than that, everything else is on the chopping block.
Dude, that's so
And
new.
it's coming out now. This is happening now as we speak. It's not,
Yeah.
like I said, in the distant future.
Right.
Um, they already rolled out. Like I was telling people, banks. I forget which bank it was. There's a bank. Is it Wells Fargo? Who is it? Can't remember the name of the bank, but they were saying in the article as well that this bank is rolling out these branches where there are no people there.
Yeah, Bank of
Everything.
America.
There you go. It's all automated.
Yeah.
Now I'll tell you that's not new. The
No, it's
automated process is not new. The first pilot, uh, I believe it was Union Bank, and I know that
Big Valley.
pilot started in Maryland. It was in Prince George's County, Maryland, where you walked into the bank and there were no people there. This was the late 90s, like around the late 90s to like 2000. You
Yeah.
walk in and there are no people. It's just like these little terminals, if you will. And it would do everything for you. You could do everything. It was hilarious. But now here was the catch though. There were people in there, but the
Hmm.
people were behind a wall. And they what they were doing behind the wall, I have no idea. But there were some people behind the wall. You couldn't see them. You couldn't really talk to them. They were not supposed to be there. You're supposed to ignore them. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. And then after that, it went away. I didn't see it. Maybe it lasted a year, and that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
Um, I don't. My dates are off. Like I said, I know it was like the early 2000s, late 90s. I believe it was around the time, either just before the DC sniper,
Hmm.
or yeah, it was before the DC sniper. So yeah, it had to be like late 90s, early 2000s. But anyway, now they're going to roll this out more mainstream now. In addition to that, guess what else they were talking about?
What's up?
And for those of you who don't know, I go into depth about this in my video series called "There Is No Collapse." If you have not listened to that, you need to listen to it in its entirety. I go into full detail, full length, everything that we're talking about and have been talking about.
Hmm.
But the article was going on to say too, and how they're taking and making the cashless society now full full speed ahead. Other countries have already started it. Europe just came out and passed a rule saying that you can't conduct any transactions over 500 euros.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to do that in cash, and that starts in 2018. And
Hmm.
they just passed that rule. So all this stuff is right here in your face, you guys. It's here. We are here. Excuse me. It's already there. Excuse me. And the taking the cash out of the system, they're actually going to phase two with that. They've been doing it incrementally for a while,
Yeah.
taking cash out, penalizing us whenever we wanted to convert digital currency into physical currency. There's always a price to pay when you go to a foreign ATM. They charge you money. Some banks even charge you money if you're using your own ATM with them.
Right.
So it's just it's more penalization to get you accustomed to operating without cash in your hand, and that's where we are. And the reason being that they're giving is counterterrorism measures. We
Yeah.
know that's baloney. It has nothing to do with terrorism. It has everything to do with control.
Right. Right. You're absolutely right about it. It has absolutely jack crap to do with terrorism, with anything else. These guys are control freaks, man.
Yes, it really is. And um, it's funny because when you think about how technology has changed things in a lot of ways for the better, what we don't look at is the unintended consequences of how robots and machines and algorithms and androids are replacing humans. And
Hmm.
not just in the job front, but they're starting to replace human beings on the social front as well.
Oh, bots, bro. I mean, oh my God. I mean, who hasn't got? I mean, have you gotten harassed by a bot yet? Like you're on like Skype, and all of a sudden a bot just comes out and starts talking to you.
Yes,
It's annoying.
yes, it is, and a little spooky too.
Yeah, it really is.
But now what I mean though is I mean physical androids to replace human relationships.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
That's coming
it's
out
gotten to the
now.
point where you got sex bots too, bro.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
And they're really starting to manufacture those things big time.
Yeah.
And remember, it's all a chip. So it's the bounds are limitless
Hmm.
because all they have to do, you know that what's that thing that they've been advertising, this little spherical shaped thing, was it Watson or whatever it is, and it talks to you, you ask it a question, and it can answer you. Series, there you go. So imagine putting a series inside of that. Imagine artificial intelligence going inside the Android, where you can
Yeah.
actually now hold a conversation with it, where you can
Right.
program it to always, big you up, never say anything rude or bad to you. It's always something nice. You know what I'm saying? And think about it. It's
Yeah.
basically a slave.
Right.
So remember that it's always the opposite end result when you're talking about machines. So if the initial push is to make one's life better,
Hmm.
and it would appear that you that the computer or the program or the machine is a slave to you. That's just to reel you in. At the end, we become slaves to the machines.
Yeah.
Because remember, anything that is superior always enslaves the inferior.
Hmm.
So if you give the machine all of your power, it's going to take the power, because we're talking about, droids and robots that have artificial intelligence and can think and have the ability to do that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So
The other dangerous thing is, like, you talk about these bots and whatnot, and you look at, virtual reality. Um, People are losing touch with themselves, man. People are losing touch I mean, with reality in general.
right.
And I mean, look at fintech. I mean, look at all the advancement being made in that as well, and also the fact, like, how many Wall Street firms are going to be betting on VR and augmented reality and all these other things, bro?
They already have. Just going back to the first article, where they
Mm.
replaced all the human traders with algorithms.
Mm.
Look at it this way. It's all math. The people who are left that are still employed there,
Yeah.
they're all computer science engineers.
Yeah.
They're not traders. So you need to
Correct.
ask yourself another question. So the people that are programming these algorithms are not traders. The dudes graduating out of MIT, etc., with these computer degrees. So they're coders, they're programmers,
Sure.
but they don't know diddly squat about markets. What do you think is going to happen a few years from now when you have people who don't understand markets, never traded a day in their life, but yet they're making these programs for these firms and hedge funds to do high speed, high frequency trading with?
Yeah.
At some point, there's going to be a massive, massive breakdown, because you've
Right.
taken away the human element.
Right.
Instead of using real traders to program these systems, they're just using these grad students. Man, come on.
Mm.
How far you think you're gonna get with that?
Hmm.
And not only that, but just remember too, at the end of the day, a computer program is only worth the person who programmed it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Absolutely correct.
and we need to do the knowledge to that, because that's what we are right now. So if you have a person who is, let's say, a you know some type of what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think straight.
A quant.
Nah. Person with antisocial behavior.
Oh, right. Okay.
All right, you got them programming these computers and putting and inputting the artificial intelligence into it.
Hmm.
There's nothing worse than a Charles Manson, except an android Charles Manson.
Yeah.
Think about it that way.
Yeah. Right.
Because the computer program is getting your ideas, it's getting your concepts, it's getting your worldview.
Hmm.
So that's what we're gonna have. And a computer's already cold and heartless anyway. So now imagine the person that's programming it is putting those things
Malicious things into it.
exactly.
No, then we got a serious problem, bro.
We've been had a problem,
Yeah.
and there's the rub. So on one hand, they can. I mean, look at it this way. Have you ever heard until now a person's cell phone or pad exploding? Come on, that's something out of a James Bond movie.
A person's pen or cell phone exploding.
No, your
I mean,
cell phones and tablets. Remember in the news, people's cell phones and
yeah,
stuff were blowing up.
yeah. The Samsung Galaxy Fireball,
Yeah, come on,
blowing off genitals and breasts and whatnot, dude. It's
come on.
crazy.
I mean, it is a terrorist device, a
Well, yeah.
weapon of mass destruction. It is showing you what the ability of this technology is, and you can build that in just about anything. Oh, I don't like what this person said about such and such. Let's go ahead and push the button and
Oh,
explode
I
his
get what you're
phone
saying. Yeah, yeah.
when
If
it's to
somebody
his
wanted to
head.
blow up your cell phone, they
Right,
could possibly do that remotely from overheating. I mean, how many times have we've all held cell phones at some point where all of a sudden the thing's like getting ridiculously hot out of nowhere. I've seen
right.
that happen a million times. You know?
All it is a program.
Yeah.
All it is a software download. That's all it is. Think about it.
Hmm.
It's just an app. Everything's been reduced to an app. You
Well,
can
listen,
make an
after
app to
that,
do anything. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
we got the dark side and we got the bright side. But right now it's looking pretty bleak. What's going to happen when all these millions of jobs or go away because they're being replaced by machines? See, they have us fighting with each other, talking about deporting people who are here illegally and shutting down the border. And man, that's the least of your problems.
Hmm.
That dude that you're trying to kick out of the country or keep from coming in the country, he don't mean you no harm. He just wants to try to escape to what he believes is the land of the free, the home of the brave.
Yeah.
What you should be thinking about is how this computer is going to replace you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I mean,
So,
I mean, already at the point is, I mean, McDonald's already pilot tested, and Wendy's as well. Like, robo kitchens, robo ordering, where the whole thing is run by two or three people. Best example, man. Look at Amazon Go.
hmm
Look at that store, bro. It's manned by three people. You just activate your Amazon app. You walk in, you grab whatever you want off the shelf, and you walk out, and it's charged to your Amazon account.
right.
All done using NFC.
Everything's been reduced to computer algorithms,
Yeah.
and that's where you are, which is so hilarious because it's like a lot of people didn't see this coming. It's almost like whiplash.
Mm.
It's crazy, but it is unintended consequences. So there has to be a way to scale back some of this stuff because yeah, it's good to have, but understand that the people who are coming out with this is really the people who is going to benefit, not the people below it. Like today, Donald Trump signed that into law that bill to start repealing the Commodities Act to make it easier for commodities companies to operate,
Hmm.
which is supposed to bring jobs in.
Hmm.
But again, unintended consequences.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this plays out. But Dodd-Frank is the next thing on the chopping block.
Yeah. Yeah.
The question is, what is it going to look like? Are they really going to repeal the whole thing?
Honestly, it's when you look at the whole entire thing. I mean, okay, I don't see any. I mean, unless you're in engineering and you're making this kind of stuff, look at fintech is really changing the financial game. I mean, you and I both know 86% of all market trades are just done computer to computer algorithmically with no human involvement.
hmm
And I'm sure that when you and I have said so many times on the show, Wall Street's not on Wall Street. It's across the river in a server room in Jersey.
Yep.
It's, I mean, bro, what's left? I mean, okay, you ease Dodd-Frank, but what the hell does that really mean? What does that really mean? Are you easing it to create more jobs for whom is the question, right?
Yeah, because here's the thing. If we were to go back to 1999, all right? Let's say
Yeah.
they roll all that back. There's no more Dodd-Frank and Glass-Steagall. They're done. That means you can open up a trading account for $500 and day trade stocks all day long. No pattern day trade rule and none of that. You can
Hmm.
trade spot metals again in your Forex account. Life is good, right?
Yeah.
The question will be, if all the jobs are taken away at the same time, who's going to be able to benefit from this Dodd-Frank going away along with Glass-Steagall? Nobody.
Yeah.
It's like a day late and a dollar short.
Hmm.
It should have never come into place in the first place. We should have never put government in the way of business operations anyway.
Correct.
So we're the ones who built this mammoth giant, and now we want to slay the beast. How are you going to slay the giant that you built? It's not going to work. It
Yeah.
sounds nice, but you can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it.
Godzilla's out, my man.
Yeah, I mean, it all sounds great, but you know what's going to happen? You know what I'm saying? It's like giving someone. I want to be clear what I'm saying. I think, and I believe, my opinion, that taking away Dodd-Frank and Glass-Steagall is a great thing because you
But
don't want the
wait,
government
taking away
involved
Well,
in
you
this.
taking away. You said taking away Dodd-Frank and Glass-Steagall, or you mean taking away Dodd-Frank and putting in Glass-Steagall?
Nah, I think we should not have a Glass-Steagall or Dodd-Frank.
Why? I mean, I can understand the Dodd-Frank thing, but why Glass-Steagall?
Well, because if you allow free enterprise to take shape and do what they do, then you wouldn't need the government stepping in and telling everybody how and where to do things. We don't have a free marketplace
Right.
because we
But
have too much government rules and regulations hamstringing everybody. Look at it this way. Before all of that came into play, you really didn't have any problems. They just
mhm,
put it there. The problems came after the fact. You
mhm,
see what I'm saying?
mhm.
So you got to remove the government. Get the boot off of the neck.
Right. No,
Because
I,
to be
I I agree with that. I agree with making a more free market. The only thing Glass-Steagall did is prevent the spec. It prevented the major Wall Street banks from dipping into the coffers of the local regional bank, and which created the mess that we have to begin with in the first place. I think
But
those two things
that was
should
a
be separate.
misnomer. That was a misnomer. They were doing that anyway. They were doing roll-ups back in the 90s. The big was always swallowing the little. You didn't need a government regulation for that. That was going to happen anyway.
Well,
Plus, if you take away what you allow, say again, you allow the banks to do all of this wild stuff with the money, and then you want to come in and say, well, I'm going to rein this part in. Well, it doesn't
mhm,
matter. You're still not dealing with the issue. You know, they're able to take you know the dollar that you give them and cut it down 100 different ways.
mhm,
Come on now, that's not how you do banking. That is
mhm.
not how you're supposed to do banking. But
No,
yet
I mean,
they
yeah.
allow it,
Mhm.
and now you want to say, "Oh, Glass-Steagall, and you got to do this." None of that stuff matters, man. Let enterprise be enterprise, and let people do what they're going to do, and you will have the economy growing. If you get your hands out of people's pocket, because all this whole thing about anti monopoly and all this other stuff is all fake. All you did was make those companies bigger, badder, and deafer, to
Mhm.
borrow a term. All right, that's all you did.
Mm.
You didn't stop anything. So if we take away the way that they operate, which is take away the treachery of the operation, you can let a bank own whatever and do whatever it wants to do. Why not?
Right. But the thing with dude, I mean, like I get the example which you said with the roll-ups. Yeah, they've been doing roll-ups forever. I mean, God, it goes even further back, even before the '90s. But one of the things, real quick, man, is it's just the fact that when you have a local bank, the local bank cannot get in cahoots with an investment bank and use the client's assets that are in the local bank as collateral for the back end bets of the larger bank and the local bank. Do you get what I'm saying? That's what it safeguarded that. I
No,
mean,
but you didn't. No, 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 no. Yeah, it did that, but no, it didn't. That's what they said it was going to do. It did way more than that. It went way over than that. You see
okay.
what I'm saying? Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, clients' funds is clients' funds.
Right.
So
But the
yeah,
question is, would the derivative market be where it is today if it were not for the repeal of Dodd-Frank? And the answer is no.
I put it to you like this: even with all those
I'm
rules in
sorry, not
place,
Dodd-Frank. I meant to say Glass-Steagall. Jesus
right?
Christ. I'm sorry.
Even with all, but
Say
see,
Glass-Steagall.
you have the Glass-Steagall in place, and it didn't
Right.
do anything. That's my
Well,
point.
no, it really did do something, man.
Okay,
It was
question for you.
yeah.
Question for you. Was that rule in place when your boy John Corzine robbed $1 billion of his client's money?
No, it wasn't. It was repealed in 1999, right before the run up to that's and then they popped off the subprime party.
You there's my case in point. There's my case in point.
Prior to Glass-Steagall, look, here's I'll give you an example. When remember the SNL scandal,
Okay, well, hold on.
right?
Hold
Remember
on.
SNL?
All right, yeah, yes, correct.
Okay, what happened? How many bankers were jailed?
How many bankers were jailed? I do
Boom.
not recall.
Why? Oh, it was 100. I think it was 120 maybe that were jailed. They went to jail. They went to prison.
Okay.
They were thrown in the slammer because of laws like Glass-Steagall.
And what year was this?
I think it was 84.
Okay, so then if that was the case, then what happened under the same SNL thing you're talking about? What happened with long-term capital management? How many of them went to prison?
Say that. Repeat that again.
Long-term capital management, when they basically
What
blew
year
up
was
the
that?
economy, the global economy back in like 92, between 92 and 94. Why didn't any of them go to prison? That was like one of your first real billion-dollar bailouts. Why didn't they go to prison? Why weren't they allowed to fail and go to prison? Why did the government have to backstop them? And again, the same law was in place. My point is, these laws mean nothing. They turn them on and off whenever they want. They'll say, okay, for you, V, we're gonna use the law exists, so we're gonna nail you with it. But Dex, we're gonna let you go. We both did the same crime. Oh, you go
I
ahead.
agree with that, dude. I mean, totally.
So
Totally,
to me, it makes it of no effect. Why even have them?
What was bailed out, right?
Right. Why even have them? You feel what I'm saying? So okay, fine. So you take away your Glass-Steagall, but then you come in here with this Dodd-Frank, and all you're doing is like repetition. You're just making government bigger.
Yeah,
and then they stuff all these other rules into it with it. It's not like they're just tackling one little thing. They say that, but they put 1,000 different other laws and rules in there on top of that.
Mm-hmm. And here's the problem. The other problem is, you're right. They put a million rules and regulations on top of it. And see, you can put whatever law you want on the books. At the end of the day, is who the hell's enforcing it? And if you had an ironclad law like Glass-Steagall, but how's it going to help you when you have the SEC that looks the other direction? Boom. And that's what we've seen with long-term capital management. When they went bust, you're right, dude. You got me. Why didn't those a-holes go to jail? You got me. Because the freaking SEC was again caught with their with their pants down, looking the other direction.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's happening here today, man. With the regulators and the criminals are walking in lockstep with each other.
Right.
It's a selective law. You're
See,
right. Now you go to jail, Dex. Collect 200 on the way out. You know.
Exactly. Now, someone in the trade room wrote something, and there you go. That's perfect. They said that Financial Modernization Act of 1999 and the Commodity Futures Modernization Act of 2000 opened the floodgates of counterfeiting and rehypothecation. Yes. See, that's the issue. That R word right there, that rehypothecation. If you why you got to have that? Why can't you allow the bank to say, we're going to give y'all more leverage to operate, but why they got to have that, though?
What does that have a valid point. I mean, rehypothecation.
That has nothing to do with it. That has nothing to do with allowing them to.
People don't realize rehypothecation. Right. And rehypothecation, most people don't realize they can rehypothecate a client's account up to 140% of what the account is.
And that's criminal enterprise. You don't need that. They don't need to be able to do that to say, you know what, we're going to allow the banks to we'll let a bank own a brokerage firm. Not a problem. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
But I have a problem when you say it's legal theft, that they can rehypothecate your money from a segregated account into their account.
Yep.
That's see, how come a bank can do it, but an accountant can't do it? If an accountant does it, he's going to jail. That's commingling of assets. That's manipulation. That's all that. He's going to jail. But a bank can do it, and it's fine.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? See how the foolishness with how they do these laws? But if you just take away that part right there, everything would have been fine. No, there would be no harm, no foul. Just say, no, you're not allowed to touch clients' money. Absolutely. No, you can't use clients' money for leverage. No, you can't do that. And what's that other thing? I can't think of the term. What's the term? The way the banks do their finance, their lending and stuff.
A fractional reserve lending.
There you go. That's it. There you go. Thank
you. That should be illegal, bar none.
That's up there with the rehypothecation. Fractional reserve lending and rehypothecation needs to go out of the window, and then you can let everything else ride after that.
Yeah, I agree.
And we have a booming market and a booming economy.
And we have actually a free market at that point.
Right. See what I'm saying? At least it'd be more free.
Yeah, it'll be a lot more free. Correct. All right, dude. We
That's
got
all you
about a
need.
minute left, man. Once you plug your site, I'm sorry we had to do this a little late today. I had some things that ran up, and that's why the Trading Terrordome was running late today. But we'll be back on a regularly scheduled program. So, Dex, give out your info, man. How people can follow you, how they can get involved in the Trading Dome. Go ahead.
That is postwavetrading.com. Postwavetrading.com. You can go and sign up with the site and be kept abreast of latest breaking things as they come. And you can come and learn how to trade the market, sign up for our weekly post-wave price triggers, and access to the premium trading room where you will learn and be able to make money in these markets and also be able to hedge your physical holdings and be able to profit by what the central banks do and don't do. And that's what we do every day.
Absolutely. And that, folks, is Dex the Algocapitalist. There is none other. And I am Senor Silverback, and we'll be back here next week at 2 p.m. Hopefully, get everything going.
I know,
And,
right?
you
Last week
know,
was me, this week is you.
I know, man. We're getting old, bro. It's all this doctor's visits and this, that, and the other, and blood work, and hey.
You know it.
Yeah. All right, so next week it is, guys. Follow Dex on. You got your Twitter account set up or what?
Oh yeah, my Twitter, I have all that. I think it's on my thing. What am I? I'm the Vulcan on Twitter or
Yeah.
PostScan72. I have no idea. I don't
Something
even
like that.
forward this stuff that much.
Well,
But
you can follow me, and I'll point you to Dex. It's at the Rogue Money, and check us out on roguemoney.net. Thank you all for listening, and we'll be back next week. Hasta la pasta. We are out.
peace.